Hello, good day. So today we'll be taking us through how to take attendance for students, right? In this process of taking attendance, you clock the students in, you clock the students out, you track the students' school fees. So let's get into it. So you need to produce ID cards for your students to be able to scan or to take their attendance. So as a staff, it is believed you already have the student's ID card that you want to take attendance for. So now at the top of my screen, you will see a QR code icon, right? This is it here. This is the QR code icon. So what I do is to tap the QR code icon, and then it takes me to the page where I see two options: scan students, request ID cards. You tap scan students if you have the ID cards already and you want to scan. You tap request ID cards if you don't have ID cards for your students and you want to produce ID cards. You request ID cards, and then we provide the ID cards for you, and then you will be able to take your students attendance. So I already have the ID card, so what I'm going to do is to tap scan students. So I tap scan students and it takes me to this page where I see um, these options: clock in students, clock out students, track school fees. So now I'm going to tap clock in students. So I tap clock in students, and then it brings out a QR code scanner. So from here, this is my students that I want to clock in. So I position the scanner in front. So from here you can see Aloko Laro Rachel was signed in successfully. Now this has been. Then the next thing for me is if I want to. So let me explain this concept. If you take attendance for a student, you're not expected to still keep that ID card in front of the scanner. If not, to scan the ID card again, and then it will tell you that this ID card has been scanned earlier. So from here, it's saying this ID card was scanned 10 seconds ago, right? If you keep scanning it, will keep telling you that you've scanned the ID card. So you cannot take a student's attendance, or you cannot clock a student in twice, right? So the next thing for you to do is to clock the students out. So I'm going to go back and then select clock out. So from here, it says attendance record uploaded successfully. That is, the clocking attendance has been uploaded. So now the next thing is for me to click clock out students. So now I tap clock out students. So when I tap it, it brings out the QR code scanner, and then I scan the student. So it says Alokularo Rachel was signed out successfully. This is how to take attendance for students, clock them in, clock them out. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the school fee tracker that we are seeing here, right? So this school fee tracker, let's assume that let's assume that this student has not made payment for fees, right? You go to manage payment list, and then by default these buttons are always turned on. This means that they've all paid. So for any of the students that have not paid school fees, just turn off the buttons, right? So I'm going to search Rachel. So this is the student and it's saying paid. So I'm going to turn off this button. Once I turn off the button, I tap the tick icon at the top to save this setting. So from here you can see that it is showing that Rachel is owing. Now let's go back and track school fees for Rachel. So it's asking me to scan code, right? So I tap scan code, and then I scan this code and it says Alokularo Rachel currently owing. See? So this is basically how to scan or how to track school fees. Now let's go back and turn on the button for her to show that she has paid, and let's see what it says. So I search Rachel, and then I turn on the button, save it, I close it, and now I go back to scan ID card. Once it's done loading, I'll go back to scan ID card or track payment. Now going back, now I'm going to tap scan code. I scan, it says not owing, right? It's saying not owing. That means the student has paid school fees and every other payment. The student is no longer owing. anything. So this basically is how to take attendance, clock in, clock out, and scan or track school fees. Thank you. Please also note that if you have other events that you want to track, this plus button at the top is what you would use to create this. So if let's assume that you want to do um sleeping sleeping time, so that this is a time for your students to sleep, right? You just create the event, right? So let's try scanning for sleeping. So this is the event. So I tap sleeping and then I scan. Now I've scanned Rachel for sleeping period, so she can go and have your sleep. So this is basically how to track all these things, sleeping, other events. Thank you.